The little that I've done over the past few weeks, I am seeing the impact and the benefits. I can see the difference in my weight, my blood sugar level, my blood pressure readings. Hi, welcome back to the channel and thank you for tuning in. If you are new here, this channel is all about preventing type 2 diabetes. In November 2023, I was diagnosed as being pre-diabetic, and therefore I had to do something to prevent myself from developing type 2 diabetes. So I'm sharing this journey and hopefully we'll learn together. So I think it's important to watch all the videos from the beginning, and in that way you will get a drift from the journey where I've come so far. So the last video I was talking about food, and I ended up on a note and asking what food was I eating in place of that particular favorite food of mine that I was talking about. Yeah, so I was talking about rice. And today my focus is on what goes on our plate. And as we all know, carbohydrate features in most of our diet, particularly Black Africans. You can't find food without, a big portion of it being carbohydrates. So we're going to look at carbohydrates. Why is there so much focus on carbohydrates? A lower carbohydrate diet have been proven to prevent type 2 diabetes, and I can attest to this fact. The little that I've done over the past few weeks, I am seeing the impact and the benefits. I can see the difference in my weight, my blood sugar level, my blood pressure readings, and also the way I feel in myself. And this is what we call evidence-based. And just to say that, when we're talking about changing diet, it's all about portion sizes, and also looking at what alternatives we can use. So this particular food that replaced rice for me, I happened to get to know about it through a friend, a work colleague who introduced it to me. And even at that point, I wasn't diagnosed as pre-diabetic, but I kind of knew, like all of us know that, we've heard it that, oh, rice is not good, but hey, we keep on doing what we would do. So at that time, I had a rethink, and I thought, okay, if this is a replacement for rice, let me just try. So that's when I fell in love with this particular meal, and that is bulgur wheat. So coming back to carbohydrates, we have refined carbohydrates which aren't good for us, and they create havoc in our blood stream. They create a lot of sugar in our blood. And so complex carbohydrates is the preferred carbohydrate over refined carbohydrate. Evidence shows that they are more healthier because they contain more fiber, so it doesn't release too much sugar in our blood stream. So complex carbohydrates are always a good choice to add. So what are some of the examples of complex carbohydrates? We're talking about quinoa, hope I pronounce it well. We're talking about brown rice, pasta, bulgur wheat, potato. Sweet potatoes are preferred over the normal potatoes, though they are also good, but sweet potato apparently has more fiber and it doesn't release sugar more quickly into your bloodstream, and it takes longer. Let's look at what is recommended to go on your plate. So it's a simple calculation. You need to have quarter of your plate, that is 25% of your plate size, made up of carbohydrates, preferably not refined carbohydrates but complex carbohydrates. Then a quarter of your plate should be made up of protein. So it could be fish, what type of protein you prefer. And then half of the plate should be made up of vegetables. And then you need to have a thumb size of fat in it as well. Just for clarity, a quarter or 25% of your plate size should be a palm size of your hand, and 50% of your plate size, which is half of your plate, should be 2 palm size. So we're just looking at a plate of meal at the moment. There are other things that we can eat, but I'm just focusing on carbohydrates today because I ate a lot of carbohydrates. Bulgur wheat comes in many textures, but I prefer the coarse texture, which tastes and feels like rice. When it's cooked, it looks exactly like rice, as you see on the plate. And so this is an example of a quarter of the plate being complex carbs and half of the plate being vegetables. And my protein there is a piece of fish. And I can tell you it does taste exactly like rice. So if you are hooked on rice, this is a perfect alternative that you can use. And you can also cook it in a jollof form. As you can see here, quarter a plate of that piece of chicken and half a plate of vegetables. And I can tell you that I don't miss rice at all. I hope this video has shed some light or given you some tips on what types of carbohydrates that you can include in your diet. The sun decided to come up all of a sudden, so there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So until I see you in the next one, thanks for watching, and let's stay healthy and let's prevent diabetes together. Take care. Bye.